this is David B69. Welcome to today's video. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, and hit the notification bell for future videos. Let's get on to the show.
Hey everybody, this is David B69, and yeah, I'm going to show you something incredible. I am going to show you pretty much all of my baseball games. And you'll be like, wow, baseball games, this is really boring. I'm going to just turn this off now. But in my opinion, there's a lot of love and a lot of care that goes into these baseball games. And I really just want to just quickly go through them. Like I said, not for everybody, but I'm a huge baseball fan. And the fact that I have 200 baseball games is an incredible feat. Now, one of the coolest things is 25% of these games, there's more than one iteration of it. So it's possible that there's a PS2 and a PS3 version, PS3 and a PS4 version. There's kind of duplicate things and stuff and everything, and also cross-generation like PlayStation, Xbox, and such. But like I said, it's only 25%. So there's still a good amount of games. So it's like you're saying 25% of 200. I think that's like 150. So 150 of these are fresh titles. That is awesome. In this list, I am not including compilations. So SNK on the PS2 has what is that game? Baseball Stars 2, the arcade game. It has that in the collection. I am not including that as part of my 200 in my whole list here. So just wanted to get that out there, just so you have an idea. First, we're going to do NES. We're going retro and then going forward. That way, if you get bored and everything, you're going to know that a lot of the games that are on the PS4 and PS5, you're going to know most of those games already. But the older stuff, that's the cooler stuff to me, to like most people from my generation. So that's basically what we're going to go with first. We're going to go RBI Baseball 3. And we'll go RBI Baseball, because why go in order? Then we got RBI Baseball 2. And we got Roger Clemens MVP Baseball. We got Baseball Simulator 1000. I don't know why they call it 1000 when technically it's a 1. But in baseball terms, for some reason, 1.000 is not 1, it is 1000, because generally we include all of the thousands in the right side of the period. So basically the 1 would be the 1000. That's how they came up with that. Does it make sense? In a way, yes, because it's basically, you're talking, the numerator is in the last digit is in that thousandth thing. So you go tens, hundreds, thousands, and that's where you get 1000. So hope that's clear. Of course, we got Drinking Games with Josh's, and we got Baseball Stars 2. I just like the case a lot. We got Dusty Diamonds All-Star Baseball, softball. Just stretch putting it in the list, but it's a baseball game in my point. Even though it's softball, it's virtually the same sport. My favorite baseball game on here, by far, for gameplay, is Bad News Baseball. It's by far, to me, on the NES, is the best one. Dusty Diamonds, it's right there. It's like pretty much 1 and 1A. But I really like Bad News Baseball a lot. And we got Baseball Stars. I love these cases because these cases like give you all the artwork without all the hassle. And we got Bases Loaded 3. Like I said, I love these cases. Bases Loaded 2, second season. Again, you get just like with the artwork and stuff, it's like really cool. Then we got the original Bases Loaded. Like I said, when you can see the artwork, it's really cool. And then we got the original baseball black box edition. Of course, this is, like I said, it's the fake kind. And it's just like really cool. So that's the NES collection. It's not huge. It's not like spectacular. I got a lot of the baseball games. I don't have every single NES baseball game. And this is the other thing I wanted to ask. Years and years ago, I went through every single one of these games and did a play test of every single one. With being over 200 games, that would basically take me 2/3 of the year to make one video a day for every single one of these baseball games. Back then it was like 100, a little bit over 100 games. That was a little bit more manageable. Now that we're at over 200, really not as manageable as it used to be. So it's like I basically have to hold a line somewhere, and I really don't see making 200 straight days of it unless the community wants it. I mean, I play MVP baseball, not MVP baseball. I play MLB The Show, and I'll do like most of the season for that. But it's generally new and fresh, and it's fun for me. Going through and playing each one of these is great because a lot of the baseball games are a lot of fun to play, but some of the games are kind of painful to play. Some of them, not all, but some. And we're back, and yeah, hope you enjoyed that little in between, because you didn't see anything because hopefully I did proper editing. Anyways, the next up is the Super Nintendo baseball games. Now this is where, see, the NES baseball games were like really like just fun to play, just pick up. I feel like that arcade version, when it got to the Super Nintendo, it took a little bit of a step better, in my opinion. And a lot of these games are good. There are still some trash games, no doubt about it. But these are like a lot of fun. And yeah, I pretty much think I have almost every baseball game on the Super Nintendo. I don't think I have every single one, but I think I have most of them. Let me know in the comments below if I'm missing any. And that basically helps me out because I don't have to look for them. Anyway, here we go. We got Super Bases Loaded 2. Regular Super Bases Loaded with Ryan Sandberg. Super Bases Loaded 3, Licensed to Steal. Yeah, it reminds me, I think it was Bases Loaded 4 on the NES that I know I don't have because I really, when I owned that game before, I hated it so much that I vowed never to play that game again. So it got removed from my collection. Relief pitcher is the Super Bases Loaded Baseball Simulator. I gotta learn to talk. 1000. I already went through the 1000 in the last segment. We got Ken Griffey Jr. Winning Run. Great arcade baseball game. A lot of fun. We got Tecmo Super Baseball. This is Ken Griffey Jr. Presents Major League Baseball. This is Super Baseball 2000. This is Extra Innings. This is Batter Up. Now, the cool thing about this Batter Up game, I think it's on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. It was an actual bat that you actually could connect to the console and like use that to swing and stuff. I have never gotten my hands on one. I've always wanted to, but it's like it's just one of those random things and stuff that's like really cool. Would I go out of my way to get one? Probably not in a normal sense, but for me and my collector's head, it would be pretty cool. Frank Thomas, Big Hurt Baseball. Super RBI Baseball. A lot of supers in these game titles. MLB PA Baseball. This was EA's iteration on the Super Nintendo. Most of the games that were basically released by EA were on the Sega Genesis under Tony La Russa. For some reason, I mean, I really don't know. Really haven't done that much investigating. I don't know if EA signed an exclusivity deal with Genesis, because they made all those Tony La Russas there, but they didn't do that. And I believe the original Madden wasn't on Super Nintendo either. I think that was only on Genesis. So something to think about. ESPN Baseball Tonight. Noel and Ryan's Baseball. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about with duplicates. Sporting News Baseball. It's a solid baseball game. Not the best baseball game in the world, but definitely solid. Cal Ripken Baseball. Now, this is an exception I'm making. Championship Football and Baseball. Now, it's technically, I mean, I would call this game more of a product demo than an actual full game. There's really not much to the baseball or football game in there, but I'm including it on the list because it's on its own cart, and the only other thing on there is football, and there's nothing spectacular about either game, but just wanted to include it on my list. And we got Hardball 3. And yeah, try to do little pictures. Now, the interesting thing is Al Michaels isn't on this copy of Hardball 3. He is on the Genesis version. Why? I have no idea. And yeah, this is what I thought. It's like I saw this and I'm like, it's like I thought I had the full case, which I do, of Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball. So I actually have a duplicate. But in my collection, it's not going to, when I'm adding them up, it basically would only come up with one. So, yeah, it's like I really didn't even realize that I had two of that. So it's going to go in, this one's going in my trade pile. Hit me up if you know somebody that really wants that game, because it's a really great game. Just hit me up. We're back, and this time we're still on 16-bit, but now we're going with the Sega Genesis. I'm pretty sure I have most of the Sega Genesis games, if not all of them. So let's go through the baseball titles here. First up, we got Hardball. Now, the cool thing about this game is I have it's in a box, and it's like so cool having an actual boxed copy of a game like this. It's like just so cool because it's unique, it's different, and it's not like the plastic cases and stuff like RBI Baseball 94 where you have the hang tab and stuff. And it's nice to have a hang tab because not most games at this era don't even have the hang tab anymore. And we got RBI Baseball 93. Got RBI Baseball 4. We got RBI Baseball 3, which is like really cool because that's like, I thought there's so many times, and I think I've told this story before, so many times I've ordered RBI Baseball 3 for the NES and it came a Genesis copy. So the actual thing that I actually have finally on the NES, RBI Baseball 3, I mean, the games look totally different. Obviously, the Genesis is the superior version. But yeah. Next up, we have Tony La Russa Baseball 95. Like I said, this baseball game was not on the Super Nintendo. Why? I have no idea. It came with this huge thing and everything with all the player statistics and stuff, which is like really cool. But yeah, I've always loved RBI. I've always liked the EA version of baseball games, and the fact that like this one is like really, really good. Here's MLBPA Baseball, which is basically, like I said, it's basically the next iteration of Tony La Russa Baseball. Believe it was, trying to figure out. Yeah, it says, so this must have, I think it was like between, because this was like, this said this is the 93 stats. Now there was a strike year and all that stuff in between. Here's the gold edition of Triple Play Baseball. Now the cool thing is, like, one of the things I liked about like Triple Play and a lot of these 16-bit is, and even like on the very next generation, they tried to like impose video, and it was very pixelated of their characters and stuff swinging the ball and pitching, and it was like very like cinematic, that they tried to just transform it from one to another. It didn't work extremely well, but gameplay wise, it was great. I really enjoyed it. We got Hardball 95. Got Hardball 94. And these are all completes, by the way. All the Genesis baseball games are all complete. We got Sports Talk Baseball. I got to tell you, Sports Talk Baseball, this was like, I think this was it might have been the first baseball game. Yeah, I think I picked this up and everything at launch, at my purchase launch price. When I got I think it was the 93 variants of Madden and NHL. I think I bought Sports Talk Baseball as well because people were bragging about how great that game is. And we got Super Baseball 2020. This game is like really just, it's a lot of fun. It's a very cool and complex arcade game. And it was a lot of fun to play. So yeah, it's a win-win there. Now this is cool. It's like Al Michaels presents Hardball 3, and this basically had the play-by-play from Al Michaels included in the game. Like I said, it didn't have that on the Super Nintendo. So to actually have it here was like really cool. And it's like I have a warranty things and manual, everything is included in here, which is like really cool. And like I said, I like the Accolade art box set things and stuff, the boxes that they included. We got Baseball Tonight. Not the greatest thing and everything, but having Chris Berman back then and everything was like really cool. I like the try to integrate TV to the 16-bit era, which is like really hard to do. Triple Play 96. The depth that they come through with these games and stuff then from EA is incredible. And here is Tony La Russa Baseball. Now, this is huge because I really loved this one probably the most back then. They had these cards where you basically like have their stats on the card and you can just go through. The only thing I don't like, I actually have a sticker on my thing that basically says pre-owned. I actually have to do something, and maybe I'll pick up I'll try to clean that up. And if I can't clean that up, I'm going to try to find a loose copy of this that has that's basically has a clean label, because I really don't like the label inside of this game. But I love the game a lot. So anyway, so that is the Genesis versions of the baseball games that I have. Okay, we're back. And we have a continuation of Genesis, because I was saying to myself, I have to have such and such game. I can't believe I didn't show it, and it didn't make any sense to me. So we're going to do that right now, and then we'll go to the next right away. We got Frank Thomas's Big Hurt Baseball. Like I said, I knew I had this game. I really just didn't know why I wasn't showing it. So it was on another shelf where I thought I had all the baseball games on one shelf. It was on a secondary shelf. And we also have Cal Ripken Jr. Baseball. Again, excellent game. Oh, not excellent, but really good game. And then we got Roger Clemens MVP Baseball. Like that, these games are solid, but they're not the best in the world. Then we got Tecmo Super Baseball. And we got World Series Baseball. This is like the main things that I was missing, because I'm like, how can I have Sports Talk Baseball and I'm not showing World Series Baseball? It just didn't make sense to me. Then we got World Series Baseball 95. Back in the day, I had a 32X version of World Series Baseball 95. The price was so high and everything. I think I got like $275 to $300, something for that, for a baseball game on the 32X. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to have this anymore. And it wasn't in the greatest condition. So the fact that I was able to sell it and the other person was like more than thrilled to get it, I'm like, yeah, that's good. I'm happy. Then we got World Series Baseball 96. This one's in a nice case. I got to find more cases like this for my box games, because it's like I really like it, and they make the games feel really nice. Here's another one like that, 98 World Series Baseball. And this is the last of the Sega Genesis ones. Then we're going to go the Sega Saturn. And we got World Series Baseball. Now, the Sega Saturn versions of these games, I mean, I love the Sega Saturn. I know a lot of people do not love the Sega Saturn. It's okay. You have your own opinion. I'm cool with it. Just don't stop my opinion. This is pretty much All-Star Baseball, pretty much with Frank Thomas on it. I basically always call it Frank Thomas All-Star Baseball, because that's what I felt it was. But it's cool. World Series Baseball 98. This game was absolutely marvelous. You give me a day where I can play Madden 98 on the Saturn and World Series Baseball 98 on the Saturn. That is a pretty good darn day. That was just like really good. 3D Baseball. I am not a huge fan of 3D Baseball. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's like a much more expensive baseball games than some of the other ones. Well, at least it used to be anyway. But I'm not in love with how the gameplay works. So, my opinion, my hot take, I don't think it's the greatest. Got World Series Baseball 2. Oh, I remember when this game came out. man, it was so much fun. Yeah, because it's like, what is it? Does it have like, it has all 28 parks back then. It was 28 parks. So it was 28 teams. And it was just absolutely tremendous. And just the intro and stuff with, it was, I think it was the Braves and the Indians that went to the World Series before that game came out. And it was like, they had this whole intro sequence and it was like absolutely marvelous. I love that game. Then we got another game, Bases Loaded 96. Have another one of these stupid stickers. Luki Games always had these stickers, and most times I just leave them on and I don't do anything with them, which is probably my fault. I probably, like when I got these, and yeah, see, it's like tearing. But it's like, it's a great game. I mean, it's a fun game. But I wouldn't put it in that great category. And here's Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball on the Saturn. Of all the big Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball games, there's like, I think there's 3 iterations of it: Saturn, Super Nintendo, and Genesis. This is the best of the 3. But again, that's not saying too much because it's not the greatest in the world. But that's my opinion, and I'll stick with it. And we're back, and we have more baseball games to go over. Like I said, this is going to be a tiring thing where I'm just continually reading off baseball games, and there's just a lot of baseball games. We're going to go with the Nintendo 64 now. And I don't have any loose card games for, I think they're all complete. That's weird. I had something, but I guess they're all complete, which is cool. These are my Nintendo 64 games. All-Star Baseball 2001. Now, with most of these baseball games, here's All-Star Baseball 2000. With most of these games on the Nintendo 64, they're, to me, meh. They're kind of like cool, but not the greatest in the world. All-Star Baseball 99. Sun-faded color and everything. It's been in the sun too long. Here's Major League Baseball with Ken Griffey Jr. Definitely a lot of fun playing with a friend. So if you wanted to play side by side with somebody, go with Major League Baseball with Ken Griffey Jr. This is also a solid game, Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest. Then we got, this is like really cool. These are the Japanese variants of baseball games, and I really, really love these because they're the Power Pro series. Here's number 4. Number 5. Now, they started these with the Super Nintendo, so that's why we go from the first series, number of the series is 4 on the Super Nintendo. 1, 2, and 3 on the Super Nintendo. 4, 5, and 2000 is on the Nintendo 64. There might be a 6 as well, which is why I started saying 6, but I don't have 6. I only have 2000. So like I said, I think there's another version. I just don't have that, which is okay because I'm pretty happy and everything with the variants that I have right here. We're back, and we have more baseball games. Yes, I told you there was going to be tons in it, and we've passed the Nintendo 64 now. And I looked around more, still can't find Triple Play 2000. So I must I must have included that in a trade and I don't remember it being traded, which is not a surprise for me because generally my mind is kind of Swiss cheese sometimes, so it is what it is. We are going to continue, and we are going with the PlayStation 1. And the PlayStation 1 has a good amount of baseball games, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot more than what I have, actually, so they keep looking around and everything. There's lots of baseball games on the PlayStation 1. This is just what I have. I have Triple Play 99. Triple Play 2000. This is what I was looking for on the Nintendo 64. It's a much better version and much better game on the PlayStation 1. So really can't argue with my choice if I got rid of the Nintendo 64 for that. 2001. These games got deeper and deeper as it went on. They started on doing unlocking things and steadily making it a lot better. This is the original Triple Play baseball title, but this isn't the original first game and everything of the series. This is probably, I think, the last one on the PS1, because it's basically for the 2001 baseball season, so it's kind of funny. We have Triple Play 98. We have MLB Pennant Race. Not a huge fan of Pennant Race. Don't think it's that great of a game. Hardball 99. An okay title. Hardball on the PS1, just it's basically like from the Genesis until it got to the PlayStation 2 generation. The hardball games to me were, I guess the kids would say mid or meh for me. They weren't that great. So here's High Heat. Is that 2000? Yeah. Here's High Heat Baseball 2002. There was one point, I think I had the 2002 one, where it came with a DVD and it was like a 2-disc thing. Again, that was one of the things where I traded it in long ago. So I haven't seen another copy since. MLB 98. I hate when that happens, though, and everything. You find something you really like and you really enjoy, and it comes with this extra, and you don't have it anymore, and you can't find it again. MLB 99. This just comes with fresh with a cracked case, which happens a lot back on the PlayStation 1 era. MLB 2000. MLB 2001. MLB 2002. Yeah, the 989 games and stuff, this is when it's like Sony started having their grasp and understanding the sports genre and being able to make more and more powerful games and sports titles and take it to the next level. And they really did. I mean, that's why we have MLB showed it today. Here's MLB 2003. So there's even franchise mode in this, which is like crazy. Because the PS1, I think some of the games had franchise mode, but not all of them. And it's like, yeah, it's like they had the newspaper things, and it's like just made like when you went to the screens, it just gave that feel of that. Here's MLB 2005. Here's All-Star Baseball 97, which I like to say it's Frank Thomas. All-Star Baseball Game. And we have bottom of the ninth, 97. Very early on in the thing, and Konami made a lot of great baseball games. Even today, they still make great baseball games. The PS1 versions, not my thing. Here's bottom of the ninth, 99. Like I said, the actual gameplay is good. It just graphically, it's so subpar to EA and Sony. That's my opinion of it. Here's Triple Play 97. Which I think is complete. Yeah, it's complete with manual. There's a few of these long boxes that I don't have complete. Hardball 5. Hardball, it's like, Hardball series is very nostalgic to me. I'm just checking. Yeah, I do have the manual. Hardball is very nostalgic to me because I was like a huge baseball nerd, and just that nostalgia just like really grasped me. So anyways, we're going to go right to the next one because it's very small and it's the same disc-based kind of thing. And that is Dreamcast World Series Baseball 2K1. I can't play these games right now because my drive on my Dreamcast is currently broken. And here's World Series Baseball 2K2. I love these games. Like I said, I can't do any kind of replay right now of these because the drive's broken. As soon as I can get that fixed, I think it's like a $15 part. I just have to order it and then go through the trouble of putting it in and such. Maybe someday. I'm not in a huge hurry for it, so it's like one of those things where I'm not going to rush for something. Okay, we're going to continue this series, and now we are going to the GameCube. Got Home Run King. It's a very arcadey game, but I gotta say, it is a lot of fun. I'm not a huge arcade, I'm more of a sim baseball guy. But if you want to enjoy a nice arcade fun game on the Genesis, and these are pretty cheap, but it's a lot of fun to play. And we got MVP Baseball 2004. MVP Baseball 2005, the last MLB version on the from EA. Got MLB 2K6. We got All-Star Baseball 2002. Here's All-Star Baseball 2003. Cool thing about this game is back when I got my original, this isn't my original case and original version of the game, but in my original, I got a deck of cards with it. So for me, that's what being my original, it just made my collection like that much cooler. And so I keep the cards with the game because it was like, that was to me, because that's where it came from. Here's All-Star Baseball 2004. And I don't know too many people that actually have the playing cards from that year. Here is Mario Superstar Baseball. If you've never played this game, you are missing out. It's kind of like an RPG story mode for the GameCube with baseball and Mario. It's really that good. So that's the Genesis versions. I only have one Xbox baseball game. Okay, for the Xbox, we have MLB 2K5. Again, you can tell I picked this up from Dookie Games at the time. And then we have MLB Inside Pitch 2003. Again, sorry to say I can't play this game right now because I don't have an Xbox at all. I don't think the 360 or any other advance will play these games. I'll have to check my 360 and try to play that sometime and see if it actually plays, because if it plays, it would be great. Otherwise, I'd have to try to grab an Xbox. I really don't want to try to find an Xbox, just not in mood, and I don't have the space for it right now. So that's why I got rid of it in the first place. Is I kept the games, but I got rid of the Xbox because didn't really have the room for it. So anyways, hey, we're moving right along. And our next console for baseball games is the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2, tremendous console. I do want to do a flashback back. Tommy Lasorda Baseball, I have that upstairs. So I didn't have it down here, so didn't able to flash that game case in front of you. Apologies. But it's like I do have it. It's upstairs. And I just don't feel like running up and getting it right now because I'm lazy. Anyways, let's go over the PlayStation 2 titles. Now, I gotta tell you, the PlayStation 2 titles, more titles of PlayStation 2 baseball games than any other console. By far. Not even close how many baseball games there are on here. This is just absolutely killer. So let's just start it. MLB 2K7. This is 7. Now we're already going here. This is already post Xbox 360 and PS3 launch. So these were also on that console. MLB 2K6. Now this is like really cool. This is Major League Baseball 2K5. They made two variants of the same game. This one has updated rosters for the World Series. Mainly because the strike year and stuff, they were doing everything they possibly could. And they included an extra DVD with this one, with World Series greatest moments and stuff. It was just like a nice little tip of your cap. So it was like really cool. So I really like the 2K5 World Series baseball. It's a really good one. We got High Heat Baseball 2004 with good old Curt Schilling on there. Love that. More Curt Schilling with High Heat 2003. And this is High Heat Baseball 2002. We would have seen this one on the PS1 as well. Gotta love seeing a Montreal Expos uniform for a cover athlete. Yeah, I think it's Vladimir Guerrero, which is like really cool since his son still plays today. Yeah, it's really cool. That is not a baseball game. Here is MLB 2K5. Still confused on how Harvest Moon got into my baseball games, but whatever. ESPN Baseball 2K4. Here is the Bigs 2. This is a really weird one. Yeah, it has a manual. It's just so thin it makes it feel really light. Here is the original The Bigs. Now the Bigs and the Bigs 2 were both on PS3 3 and I believe 360 as well. Here's Backyard Baseball 10. And like I said, this is like well after PS3 and 360 were out there. And they were making these backyard baseball games and stuff. Here's 9. I mean, it's basically the same game. I mean, it's just updated stats and players. Here's 2007. Gotta love Pujols. The original Backyard Baseball. But and it didn't have full MLB rosters. It just had certain players. Here's All-Star Baseball 2005. Here is 04. Here is 03. 04, by the way, is my favorite one of All-Star Baseball. 2002. People ask me which one do I recommend playing if they were just going to play one of the All-Star Baseball series. I'll always say All-Star Baseball 2004. Without a doubt, it's just definitely the most solid baseball game in my opinion. Here's Triple Play Baseball 2002. Here's regular Triple Play Baseball. I think this was the 2001 version. Yeah, it represented the 2000 series, so it was 2001. And it was released, because back then it used to be a year forward. Here's MVP Baseball 07. This was NCAA mode. This was the last MVP baseball game that there was. Here's MVP 06, NCAA again. But it was like the games were very deep. It was just college centric. So I liked them, but I wasn't like over the top for them. Here's MVP 2005. A lot of people regard this one as the best baseball game ever made. I really don't know. I don't think so. MVP 2004. I mean, it's like, this is in my opinion, baseball-wise, this is the best generation of baseball games. Not because of the quality, it was the quantity, which had a lot of choices and stuff. Like, you have this MLB Slugfest Unloaded. You don't get too many of these type of games on today's consoles. You don't get a full baseball game that's an arcade game. Here's MLB Slugfest 06. And that's the thing that makes all the difference. I mean, it's like you're getting these arcade games that are coming out on a yearly basis. Here's 2004. And they're their own thing. You got several different simulations type games, and you got several different arcadey type games. Here's 03, Slugfest. I mean, if you have that much depth that you can release so many different variants of the same thing, it is like absolutely crazy. Here's MLB Power Pros 2008, a tremendous series. I've spoken to that at length. Here's the original MLB Power Pros. I mean, it's just, these games are like RPG centric, and they're like, it's like huge. I've already talked my butt about it. Here is MLB The Show 11. Which is like, these games were like absolutely amazing. Here's MLB The Show 2010. These games were so deep and so huge, and they had so much out there for them. And these were like during the era of PS3. and they were like, did huge amount of support for the PlayStation 2 back then, which was like absolutely crazy. MLB 08, mainly because there was so many consoles out there, I mean, at the time, where people were just still playing and buying PlayStation 2 games. They didn't want to go upgrading to a PS3 or or 360 because the format changed a lot, and graphically it wasn't a huge deal when you went to with a CRT TV. I mean, it was nicer, it was smoother, but it wasn't a huge deal. So until people started buying TVs with HDMI and they were seeing that graphical like upswing, with the newer TVs with the console, that's when everything went skyrocketing, and that's when everything went to the next level. MLB 07, the show, great game. Here's the first MLB, the show, MLB 06. This is the first of the MLB The Show games. So if you think about that, this year will be MLB The Show 25. That would mean this is the 20th iteration of MLB The Show title. It's pretty cool. We're basically approaching the 20th year that's going to be released this year. That's pretty cool. They also had an MLB 2006. Now, I believe the MLB 2006 was released the year prior or earlier in that same year. But it's like, because it's like, it used to be where they were a year ahead of time. And I think that's what happened. Here's MLB 05. MLB 2004. I like this. This is a sealed copy of MLB 2K12 on a PS2. Here is a sealed copy of MLB 2K11 on the PS2. I'll open them. I really just haven't done it yet, but I'll open them. Here's MLB 2K10. Here's MLB 2K9. And last game on the PS2 is MLB 2K8. There's a lot of games. I mean, that's a lot of games on one console on the PlayStation 2. It's absolutely fantastic. Now we're going to get deeper and deeper here. Now we are going to the Wii. Now the Wii, basically Wii and PS2 pretty much were in the same hemisphere of releases and stuff, and the graphics were the exact same. So it was just like, you could pretty much merge them together. And a lot of these titles are basically the same. But like MLB Power Pros, one of the cool things is that you have Power Pros, but one of the cool things is you can have Mii support. So the Miis that you basically build and you make, and this was both for MLB Power Pros and MLB Power Pros 2008. This had Mii support, right? Yeah, yeah. You can basically import your Miis that you made, and you just basically put them in the game, and you can actually play as those characters, which was like really cool, because it's like you do so much to make your character and with Miis and stuff back then. It just made it a lot more fun to basically continue that. And it's like, I don't know about you, but on my Wii and everything, I had tons of Miis from friends and family and all this. It just made it like really cool to do. Mario Super Sluggers, which is the second game of the baseball series. Hopefully they're going to be making one soon on the Switch. They haven't done it yet, so it's been rather disappointing. Here's a sealed copy of MLB 2K12 on the Wii. That is crazy. But it's like I don't really play my Wii that much, so not much time to unbox it. Here's Little League Baseball 2008. So that was the Wii. Now we're just going to go right to the 360. We have Major League Baseball 2K8. That came with a bobblehead. That was pretty cool back then. Here's MLB 2K7. This is MLB 2K12. Yes, it has basketball with it, but I'm counting it because there's two different discs. So since there's two different discs, I'm including it as two different things. Now, the only thing that I have a problem with my case is it doesn't have that flip thing. So I have to pile the discs on top of each other, which is kind of annoying. Here's MLB 2K11. Very good baseball game. In my opinion, that's probably the last really good 2K baseball game in that generation. I believe 2K12 and 13 have like some really sometimes game-breaking things that happen in it. Here's 2K13. It just got, as soon as it got to a certain level, they stopped caring because they weren't going to make any future games. So a lot of the development team that they had making these games, they were porting them over to the NBA side because the moneymaker was not going to be the baseball game anymore. They released it for the fans because they were making them, but they didn't put their full staff into it. Here's MLB 2K10. MLB 2K9. And finally, this is the first baseball game on the 360, MLB 2K6. Which, honestly, it was like, there's a lot of things where new consoles, they get a game, and they're not really that good. 2K6 is a very good game. I had a lot of fun with it. I think one of my first videos that I've made and stuff on my YouTube channel, I threw a no-hitter and I recorded the last inning of that no-hitter and posted it to YouTube. Which I really wasn't doing too much back then because when I did it, I was on a CRT TV. It was just kind of one of those wild things. I'm like, hey, yeah, I can do this on YouTube, and it'd just be fun to just record it and save it. I wasn't thinking of all the other things that went with YouTube today. So it's just one of those depth things and stuff that I spent time doing back then. So next up is the PS3 version of games on baseball. And yeah, it's like really cool because I'm getting through all this. We have MLB 2K11. Like I said, this is the last version that's really, really good. 2K10. $2K9. MLB Front Office Manager. Now the cool thing about this is if you're a sim guy like I am, this is like a really, really cool game. Now I like the actual playing and the simming, but this is a lot more in-depth for the sim side of franchise and being on the front office than your typical baseball games when you have a franchise, But this goes like next level, which I loved. And I love that they released it on console, and it's like really cool. Here's MLB 2K13. 2K13 was the last one. Here's MLB 2K12. MLB 11 show. MLB 12 the show. MLB 13 the show. Here is the bigs. And the bigs 2. Very arcadey, those bigs games, but fun. MLB 2K7. Here is MLB 2K8. Here's MLB The Show 16. Now, if you know, PS4, I think, came out in 2014. So that just shows you the overlap there. That's a lot of overlap. MLB The Show 15. MLB The Show 10. MLB The Show 9. MLB The Show 8. MLB The Show 7. MLB The Show 14. Did it again. I had a like regular game mixed in. Here's the Power Pros 2014. Power Pros 2016. And Pro Baseball Spirits 4. Which was like really cool. I mean, it's like the Pro Baseball Spirits games are like absolutely tremendous. It's like I have to go back and actually play them more sometime. They are actually a tremendous series, so I highly recommend them. Now we're going on the home stretch here. These are the last games that will be included here. And this is the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 era. Now I don't have any Xbox One, Xbox Series baseball games. Generally because my Xbox Series is a S, not an X, because I don't really collect those anymore. And it was when I did have the Xbox One, it was like most of the games were basically could basically like go on the other side. So I really didn't care. Plus I could have digital games and stuff on there, and I really wasn't worried about collecting for that. So I digress. Now we have RBI 21 on the PlayStation 4 before we start it all. We got RBI Baseball 16. These games are hot garbage, but I like to collect and I like to play them every once in a while. They're very like arcadey, and sometimes arcade games are just fun to play. Here's a sealed copy of RBI 18. It's just sometimes you want to just pick up and play. Okay, here's the Power Pros, what is it, 2022, which is cool. MLB The Show 14. This is sealed. Here's MLB The Show 15. This was cool because it's like had a an anniversary case and such. MLB The Show 16. Again, another tin case. MLB The Show 17. MLB The Show 18. MLB The Show 19, which I think this is a funny one because I believe this is the one that had on the regular version of the game had Bryce Harper on the cover. Here's MLB The Show 20. MLB The Show 21. MLB The Show 22. This is a sealed steel case of MLB The Show 23. Yeah, the game's in there too. RBI Baseball 2019. RBI 20. Here's on the PS5, we have MLB The Show 24. And 2022 Little League World Series. So that's it. That's all the games. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? Did you enjoy this series? Do you want me to do the same with the other sports games? Do you want me to do this with the wrestling games? I can do this with different genres and such. I just figured baseball was my favorite, and I had over 200 games to go over. So I'm still, my favorite is going to be MLB The Show 24. It's a great game. Really looking forward to MLB The Show 25 when that comes out this spring. So until next time, leave your comments below. I'll see ya next time. Peace. I'm out.